Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. With over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, fix and flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within Florida and Virginia. Our firm's services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Let's Do It Talk Show. It's your girl, Ladrine Howard Peterson, the CEO and founder of DOit, delivering on ideas and thoughts. And you know what I do in a nutshell, right? I help to turn dreamers into doers, and I do it from two aspects. I do it from the aspect of career development, resume writing, interview preparation. You're looking to switch jobs, you're having problems on your job, I am your girl. And then I also do it from the aspect of business. If you're looking to start a business, you have some ideas and thoughts and don't know how to bring them into fruition, or if you're looking to expand your business or looking for ways to market your business, I am your girl. Here at the Let's Do It Talk Show, we were primarily created for entrepreneurs, right? Quickly, we recognized that the entrepreneur was an entire person. So we talk about faith, we talk about finances, we talk about the future, and we talk about family and relationships. It's all about money tonight. It's Money Making Monday. I got my money making honeys with me tonight. So we're actually going to have a little bit fun. We've been talking about this topic of looking back to move forward. We're going to look at it from different angles and go into dialogue. So it's going to be a free flow conversation tonight. But you know what I do before I get started and before we jump into this show? I talk all about my weekend and all of the various activities. Oh my goodness, this weekend, the week, everything. I'm tired, but we're going to get through it. It has been so many different activities going on. So first up, this whole cooking thing, I'm trying to tell y'all, my cooking game has elevated. So I cooked some salmon with some shrimp and a stuffed potato. The potato was, oh my God, delicious. It had crab meat. I put a little bit of garlic, onion, a little bit of everything, butter. But my daughter just challenged me to make it. It was like, put this and put some of this and put some of this. It was amazing. Holiday parties. We're in that season. We started off, but our office, every branch is having a holiday party. My branch kicked it off. That was last week. It was another one. We got one tomorrow. A lot. So congratulations, huge congratulations to my childhood friend, Major Vandy, Pastor Major Vandy. I went to the ordination service and it was amazing. And then last but not least, y'all know my background look a little different. I had to turn around because I had to get the lighting figured out here. But I am in the Sunshine State, enjoying every moment of it. And I'm on the lake. So my views of watching the sunrise and the sunset are amazing, amazing, amazing. And I have an extended balcony that goes beyond, but I'm gonna have to do a video or something. My place is a whole apartment. It's a whole apartment. So I'm in here getting life, enjoying every minute of it, but it's so relaxing, y'all. I'm sleepy. So we're gonna rock and roll with this show, and then I'm gonna get some sleep. But seriously, the show tonight, I have my ladies with me. We have Shanae Robinson, Saka DeWitt Fanning, and also Janice Bowles. So, ladies, why don't you introduce yourselves before we jump into the show? So, first up, Janae, let them know who you are and what you do.
Hey guys, hey. I am Shanae Robinson, the professional credit diva. And what I do is I assist focused individuals, couples, families, and business owners who want to achieve their goals and dreams. I help them by raising, restoring, and rebranding their credit scores. I work one on one with each and every client that I have. That way, I'm able to hold them accountable to the goals and dreams that they say they want.
Come on now. I know somebody done stepped up their game with that intro. I love it. I love it. Next up, Sakajiwia Fanning.
Hi, my name is Sakajiwia Fanning. I am the founder and CEO of Fanning Financial Group, LLC, and I love helping people get back on the right financial track. It's never too late and it's never too early. So no matter what your belief system is, everyone can be financially secure and have a peace of mind. So make sure if you need that, let me know. Also, I'm really excited to announce I'll be working with small business owners to see how we can save you some money in regards to recruiting, attracting, and retaining your top talent, and making sure that you're more bankable at the end of the day as well. So go ahead and give me a call and let's get to work.
Let me find out. It's only been a month since I've seen y'all. Let me find out everybody has been in the lab. I'm appreciating to Bose. You up next. Hey, Janice.
Hey, good evening, ladies. Hi, everyone. My name is Janice Bowles. I am a licensed realtor in Virginia. I am a real estate investor and also a land developer. My business is B Premier Ventures, where we buy and beautify. And, this year has been quite challenging in some points, but amazing in others. So we have to be very grateful for that. And I'm just happy to be here tonight with you ladies. I haven't been in the lab as much as my co-hosts have been in the lab, but I will tell you this, you guys can come reach out to me on my website and get more information with regards to just real estate investing. I love to just get people focused and get them into the trajectory of wealth generation building. And so I just love talking about real estate, but we'll start on that later on this evening as well. So glad to be here tonight.
Yes. As always, see, we trying to play catch up with you. That's Bose is in the house. I saw you over there making it rain. But I love it when you ladies come on the show. Always bring so much valuable information. And I tell you, like, we laugh and we joke, but I'm all ears when we're talking and when we're discussing. And you all have helped me so much financially. I appreciate each and every one of you. So let's jump into the topic, right? So looking back to move forward. When I sent this information to you all previously, you all immediately, it was excitement in terms of the title. And I was like, oh no, that's our theme for the month. So I was like, let me give the ladies what they want and just turn it into the title for this show. So before we get jumping into the conversation, I had played around a little bit on Facebook and shared, like, I had 3 ways of looking at it, right? So I want to bring those 3 up to you, and then we can go into dialogue and talking about each one of them. That's what the show is going to be about, because I think it's such a rich topic that people have different perceptions around the same thing. And whether you're pessimistic, that can dictate your outcome. It really can. Words really do matter. So one way that I thought about it is in the terms of dwelling on the past. So when you think of looking back to move forward, some people can negatively think like, oh, it's dwelling on the past, you're getting stuck, you're not going to be able to move on. The second one was decision making, looking on at your past so that you can use it to help you avoid mistakes that you made in the past. And then the last one was divine guidance and gratitude. You know how the old saints say, when I look back over my life, right? I look back over my life and I see what God has brought me through. That is the third way that I look at it. So you all may have additional ones. You all may have things to like expand off of these, but these are the 3 areas that I thought of. So let's jump into this conversation, right? So first, let me start off with this. First, I'm going to ask you all if you had any difference of opinion when you first heard of that word. Then we're going to go through each one of these three things, and we'll listen and take in comments from those who are in the audience as well. Sounds like a plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. All right. So, Shanae, let's start with you. When you first received the suggested, I'm going to say title because it was really the theme, but you all, I made it a theme, you all made it a topic. So by all means, when you first heard looking back to move forward, what initially came to your mind?
Reflection. Because and for me, a past is a very important part of our present and our future. And the reason why reflection came to me is because you need to see where you were to know where you're going, right? And depending upon where you were, you can make your decision of if it was a good place or if it's a bad place, if it's a place that you never want to visit again, or if it's a place that helped you to grow. And no matter if it was negative or positive, your past should always be looked upon as a place of helping you to grow. Right.
I love that. I love that.
So,
and I'm gonna pause you because I want you to pick back up when we go through them, because that's directly in alignment with number 2. So I'm gonna let you start the conversation for number 2.
Okay.
Janice Bowles.
The first thing that I thought about was implementation. We don't have time to waste. And just looking back, these past couple of years, what has transpired, in a sad point for many, we should be grateful for those of us who have survived and are still surviving. So there's no time to be wasted. It's time to start implementing, start planning for the future, even more so in depth. So implementation.
I love that one. Sakaji, we are saying.
Yes, I think of just making sure you have lessons learned. So it will catapult you, further into your future. So like Shanae was saying, like looking at the places you've been and making sure you don't like revisit it if that's what you don't want to revisit. But to me, it's also about re-strategizing. If something didn't work, that's okay. Lesson learned. Let's restructure, re-strategize, and revamp, and let's keep it going. But just like Janet's saying, implementation, don't get stuck in place. Keep moving forward. Keep going to the next step and getting to the next level.
I love it. And that's in alignment with number 2 as well. So let's go in order. Let's go with the first one, right? So the first one, dwelling on the past. And it was very interesting. When I sent you all the topic, I was doing research for something else. I was actually writing an article and writing a chapter in a book. And for me, it kept going back to looking back, because here was the thing for me. No, I'm going to say that to number 3. I'm going to save it to number 3. We're going to go into a deep conversation. So it was finding a lot of professional people who look at that as a negative thing, of looking back where, and I guess it may be a clinical thing, where you look back, you get stuck into depression, you get stuck into a different mode. So while I understood it, I initially definitely didn't think of it that way. But again, reading it and understanding what the clinicians were saying, I could understand what they meant. It is a challenge when someone is going through something or whatever they're feeding to themselves. On the same way, when we look at it, when we feed ourselves positive information, it empowers us, it motivates us, it inspires us. When we have an accomplishment, we're like, I did that, and it pushes you to do more, so I can do this. The same thing happens on the negative side. If you are in a space, say if you had a bad business year, or it just seemed like nothing can go right, if you allow yourself to fall deep into that component in that area, you will find yourself there for a longer time than what you would have normally experienced for yourself. So that was very interesting to read that. And Devetta Henderson is on the line, so you can chime in as well in terms of your thoughts, and we'll make sure that we engage and read those. So I'll sit that right there. But I found that very interesting because at first I was frowning up, like, why would they look at it negative? Because I already had my little happy reasoning for it. But then I was like, one word that we say can be utilized, and it can be the perception of other people, depending on their space and their place at a given time, could be a whole different thing. And Shanae pointed at the mind. The mindset is critical. So let's jump into number 2. And as I mentioned, Shanae, you can definitely go ahead and start off with that one. So again, it's decision making, using your experiences from your past to help you in your decision making in the present or going forward. So you can finish up your conversation, which was very great.
Perfect. Thank you. And also to piggyback off of what you just said, say for instance, if you do have a bad business year, right? And you look back on it, but if you reflect on it, then you can kind of go back to see what caused that bad year, right? So that you don't make those same mistakes. It could have been not posting enough, not being visible enough, or, even not taking enough risk or believing in yourself enough. But if you reflect on the things that you did to kind of cause the negativity, not just, what you did positive, but even the negativity, you can still turn it around to make better decisions going forward. And even if you just implement just a little bit at a time, just to see if that would cause some type of change, right? And just like what Janice was saying, in Sacagawea, you don't want to get stuck in a place where as though you become so overwhelmed that you don't move forward, period. So if you just implement, a small bit of things that you have learned from your past to help you move forward, then you're moving in the right direction.
I love it. Tag team, Sacagawea, you was going there, you was getting it deep, and I paused you earlier purposely. So please, by all means, pick up.
Yeah, because to me, it's also sharpening your tools. It's like getting what you needed, because sometimes we have to look back and then to move forward. So it's like, okay, this didn't work, but was it something internal to me that I didn't do, like Shania is saying, or is it a skill set that needs to be sharpened? Or I need to go get some additional mentoring or some training. The key thing I have learned about myself is I have a hard time asking for help. And so that's just being detrimental to me. So I have been like, that's my main thing that I have been conscious of seeking, like, if I need mentorship on this certain area, I need training in this certain area. That's okay, because guess what? We're always learning. We're always evolving. We're never like this one thing all the time. And it's okay. And I think in life, people feel like in order to keep the circle I have of the friends I have to stay where I'm at. But the thing about it, if you are to be better, you to be great, and you are to utilize the gifts that God gave you, you may have to shed something. And that may be friendships, and that may be other things. So you have to make sure you're moving to grow into your purpose.
Absolutely. Bo, you want to chime in on that?
I mean, everything Lazy said is just right on point. And I tell you something from a personal note from myself. This year, I've always had such a checklist, so to speak, of what I wanted to do or what I wanted to try, but still had that doubt. Oh, you know what? I'll wait later, or Janice, you don't have time for this, and things of that nature. Time is ticking. Progress makes us feel great. It just releases those endorphins. Just you feel so great, and you feel like you have accomplished. But also, so slow and steady wins the race. I think one of the things that we have to stay focused with, that time is of the essence. And we have to get forward and start moving toward the things that we must take care of, and expedite them quickly.
Mhm.
I just feel like quickness is the thing that we have to do, no longer lingering as such. And the one thing that I'm excited for myself that I've always wanted to do was I've always wanted to uh, take a chance at doing a property near my family's area where they were born and raised, which is South Carolina. And I've had this in my heart for a number of years, but just always said, okay, I don't want to do it. I made excuses, continually excuses. So we have to get out of those excuses. And I just say, this past June, I stepped out on it. Something was brought to me, presented to me. I prayed about it. It was presented, and we'll be at the closing table at the end of January. So I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited. So, we got to implement, stop, doubt on yourself, and just move. Just go for it.
And I love both of those, like reflection. If there needed to be a picture beside the word in the dictionary, I'm telling you, that would be me. I've been reflecting since I was a young girl. And my mom used to always come to my vision board parties and would be like, things to do this. Like, Dream was doing things to do this when she was a little girl. Of course, we didn't call them things to do this, but I always wrote down, this is how I'm going to plan my day tomorrow. And my mom used to be like, you going in too deep, shorty, going in too deep. But I've always done that. Even for my job, I've always done that for my career. I obtained my career goals 7 years in advance. So now it's actually 10, but years in advance of the mark that I wanted to do. And I do that with my business. So Sinead, when you talked about increment, right? That is key. A lot of people, when they have a goal, one of the reasons why it ends up failing or it ends up being major delays is because the excitement that you get makes you want it all now and right away. Mm-hmm. And you go into it, you either your energy either loses track with your money, you either run out of money on something that you're doing, or you run out of energy, you become overwhelmed and you just don't have it in it anymore. Or something happens and it causes doubt. And then you end up saying that I'm going to put this up for a minute or I'm going to walk away, and you end up not going back to it for some time. So in my coaching, I pretty much use the strategies that I use with me coming up. And people, my friends still today, would joke when we're doing something together, you always overkill. You're the planner, you're the this and you're the that. But I tell you what, even in the work environment, when we have a major activity and something is going wrong at the time that it's about to start, I'm the one that's usually the calmest because I have prepared. You know what I mean? I have prepared. So if something goes wrong, I can easily think of pivoting moments, or I don't feel bad on myself as if only I would have, if only I should have. I was like, this is above my pay grade. Like, this was supposed to happen, so let's move forward and let's go with it. So I love the idea of the reflection for both ways. And then implementation. That was my word of the year. I think maybe like 3 years ago, that was my word of the year. So many people, and this was when I was fairly new with the entrepreneur, and there was so many people, every time I went to a conference, they were getting ready to do, planning, and nothing ever happened. It was so much planning and feeling motivated and feeling good. Nothing happened and no money was being made. And I was like, this is not the area that I want to be in. They would sign up for this program, sign up for that program, spend the money on this, get motivated, but no implementation. So I love when you said that, even if you focus on a short, something small, but you plan to do it by the end of the year, you break it out, at least you would have a check mark, and not only a check mark to say check, but an accomplishment of an activity. So go at your pace, stop looking at other people and go at your pace. The last thing I'll add to that from my mindset as you all were talking. So, I have an MBA. So the thing that we always practice and I live out is the SWOT analysis, right? Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What opportunities are we missing, and what threats may impact an activity that we're doing? In everything that I do, that's a looking back with decision making. I look back on what caused different things before to try and prevent them or mitigate them from happening. And that's what my staff does. That's what we do at work. That's our whole mindset. So I love that one. So let's go into the third one, right? So the third one is divine guidance and gratitude. That was when I was writing, that was what I was looking for everybody else to say when I saw all of the other ones. Although it helped me along the way, but that was my space that I was in. So divine guidance and divine gratitude. So on a graphic that I created for this, it pretty much goes into conversation that we had 2 weeks ago. We were talking about healing, right? But it came up, Jeremiah 29:11 came up, but I reflected back to Jeremiah 1:5. Before you were formed, God's telling us before we were formed, he already knew what was going to happen to us. He already knew what we were going to experience. And then Jeremiah 29:11, later on in that same chapter, God tells us that he has plans for our lives, plans of hope, plans to prosper. So we know that whatever we go through, at the end of the day, God's plan is for us to prosper and is a plan for hope. So we know what? That we can't fail. We can't fail. So when I was thinking of it, that's where I first went. So I'll let you all chime in and then I'll circle back at the end. But that's where my head was. So I was like, what are all these other people saying? What are they talking about? But it was all good stuff, right? All perception. And like Shanae has said, your headspace.
So for me, divine guidance and divine gratitude, right? Like you said, the Bible is actually the roadmap to life, right? And it's like if you know the Bible and if you become intimate with the Bible, everything is laid out, all of the instructions, everything, right? In my belief, honestly, as I have grown and I am maturing and I'm working more on my mental and my mindset and what I let into my space, what I block out of my space, is that I'm realizing that God does not want us to suffer, right? He doesn't want us to live in lack, right? And I'm learning more and more that the reason why I have lived in lack is of my own doing to a degree, right? Because I did not have the knowledge that I needed, right? And so with me learning and growing and on this journey of entrepreneurship, because I honestly believe that if I was still an employee, I would still have that employee mindset, right? And no disrespect to anyone who is an employee, but for me, that was bondage in a degree, right? It was bondage in a way because that's what I knew, that's what I was taught. Just like school. School isn't a place of learning. Honestly, school is a place of remembering, right? They teach it, you remember it. But the things that we really, really need and know, we have to find out on our own. And it's there for us, just like the Bible is there for us, right? I am the head and not the tail. Everything that is for us to grow, to prosper, and to have more than enough of is sitting right there in front of our face, right? I'm also learning to live in a state of gratitude, especially with everything that's going on right now. I am so grateful to be here. We just laid to rest Gerald's nephew, who was murdered the day after Thanksgiving, 26 years old, 3 children, right? And so with COVID and with everything else, I'm glad that I am becoming more self-aware of how I should be present and taking advantage of the things that God has already instilled in me as far as intuition, right? I had no idea that my nephew would be killed, but I knew that I did not want my son here, right? And so I sent him away. The things that we want instantly. And everything is not designed to come to us instantly, right? And so I think that when we live divinely, we understand that and we prepare for what it is that we ask for.
Yeah, okay. Both.
That's good. I mean, one of the things that I think about when I look back upon myself and my life, realizing we have to realize and stay focused with where there's going to be highs and lows. It's on this journey. There's just no doubt about it. And God, through His Word, has prepared us for that. So, for me, if we stay into our daily conversational talks with Him, realizing that any journey that we take, we're not taking it alone. He's with us. Any situation where it may be looked to be upon as a negative situation, it's a lesson learned. And when you learn from those lessons, and I'll always use the term, when you know better, you do better. Right. It's an easier journey, but always remember that this journey, you're not alone. For me, I am so grateful, and I wake up every morning and I thank God, because the things that I have seen and experienced, I should not really be here today. And I'm just going to be very clear with that. But I'm so grateful for, even when I turned my back, or I didn't have the confidence or the strength to continue, He was there in the nick of time to change things and make things for the better. So within my business, even with investing, I always say that I'm not greedy, I'm grateful. I look at things upon the standpoint of, I have my conversations with Him, and I always not make a decision until the next day. And I feel like when I wake up, God, okay, you will give me the strength to direct me to say, okay, this is a good thing to get into, or it's not. And I also realize that whatever decision that it is, and if it's not for me, I'm still grateful. Whatever the experience is, I'm still grateful. And I think if we can keep that mindset within our personal lives, our business, it will help. And it will just help you stay grounded. And, don't be greedy, just be grateful. That's the thing for me.
I like that. You go ahead and make a T-shirt for that. That's very catchy, very catchy and impactful, and very catchy and impactful. I'm serious. Very good, very good, very good. What both of you all say, and the better is on the line also in chiming in terms of she actually piggybacked out the Felicia's comment. So Felicia said, my biggest thing this year that caused me not to be further in my business is procrastination, inconsistency, and not taking time out to do personal development. And the better circle back and said, procrastination is never your friend. Goes hand in hand with regret. At least that's the case for her. And Dr. Jouet chimed in and said, biggest win is to identify your weaknesses and working on them. Moving forward to reduce those behaviors is major. That was critical. So, Saka Jouet, you up next?
Okay. So for me, I truly believe in divine intervention. And lately, it's just like everything has been happening for a reason. And when you put all the pieces together, our section 1, 2, and 3, it's like when you reflect and look back, you have requested and asked for certain things to be in your life. Then you see things coming full circle, and you're like, you're not in this alone. He's been walking with you side by side, or been carrying you when you needed it, whenever you needed it at that point in time. And so for me personally, I see things where I wanted to know certain things for my business to get ahead. I was like, it has to be a better way to be more efficient and still help people. And like literally, I went to this business certification program in Arizona last week. And literally, it's like, he was like, here, you've waited, you've asked, you've been a servant, and you've been humble. Here you go. It was everything I ever wanted right there. And so to me, I am just so like you ladies were saying, grateful. And it's like sometimes grateful and gratitude isn't a big enough word for how good he can be for you, how good he can be in your life. It's like this is like a movie, you know, you don't see like things that were like thoughts in your head or whispers in just between yourself and him become reality. So I see that happening. I see a whole new business model happening for me. And I'm just like, thank you. And right now, it's now the pressure is on me. You know, it's like you can only ask, but you better be ready. You better be ready to do the work when you get it. Because guess what? You were asking and praying, boom. And it's not like it's a timetable and it's a little letter that's coming saying it's going to come September 10th.
Right.
When it comes, jump on it, move on it, and get it going. So it's like I'm jumping on the opportunity, moving it, getting it going, and picking up the pieces I need along the way. That's another thing. Don't overanalyze or like paralysis analysis and think on something. He gave it to you. So no, don't throw that gift back because you're not ready. You better do what you need to do to be ready, get ready, and make sure it happens.
Oh my goodness. So I love that. I love everything that all of you all said. So in terms of this whole bulletin, me thinking about it from this way, and even just reflecting on the things that you all just said, right? Count it all joy. Mm-hmm. I can honestly say I remember coming up, and not even coming up, I mean not that long ago, like the year before last. I was like, count it all joy when devastation happened, like this does not logically make sense. I get it now. When I'm telling you, I'm a reader of scripture, but like over like the past year, 2 years, maybe 3 years, I don't know. Actually, it's been a long time. The Bible app, YouVersion, is what really motivates me. And then they give you little badges and little ribbons and everything. And so, like, the other day was my 500th day in a row that I like read the verse and went through the Bible plan. And I put on Facebook, I was like, I brag differently. Like, that was rewarding for me. I was always looking for ways to not pay God back, to say thank you to God and to show gratitude for all that he has done. Mm-hmm. What he has done for me, like right now in my season, of course, because I talk about it all the time purposely because it is my testimony, right? And my testimony is to let people know, no matter how bad you hurt it, no matter how detriment it seems, no matter how traumatic it is, you can get through it, right? And you don't have to suffer. Like, we all make the choice to suffer through things. And I know it may sound crazy, but when it's counted all joy, it's everything that you go through, rather it be the loss of loved ones, the loss of a job, the loss of things, or whatever it is, a breakup of a relationship. It's really for your good. Right. Heartbreaking and bleeding and whatever. You like count it all joy. But I'm telling y'all, so my whole goal is not to just read scripture. I've been doing that for years. I got saved when I was 11 years old. But it's not just to read scripture. It is to live scripture. And as I have been going through
implementation, you got to implement.
Hey, you get that t-shirt, I got that t-shirt, right? So it's the thing with that. And when I tell y'all, when you look at things from a different way and you actually live them out, I have no worries. I have no problems. I have no fear. And I don't say it like bragging or being arrogant. I say it so truthfully. Like, I am so at peace with everything that I do. And the thing that was before, and I was in Bible study, and Reverend Smith, who always comes to the show, not Reverend Rice, but Reverend Smith, she facilitates daytime Bible study, and I'm the reader, I'm the scripture reader, and she let me engage in the conversation. So we were having dialogue, and here was the thing, right? Talking about the will of God. the will of God, when you want the will of God and you align yourself with that. So my prayer is, God, whatever is your will, help me to see it, help me to understand it, and let me experience it. When you look at it from that way, you can't go wrong, because what? God's going to give you everything that you need. We already have everything that we need, but then when you have the insight where the Holy Ghost actually speaks to you and let you know that it's going on, whole different story. And y'all, I gotta keep on leaning over my tissue. But it's a whole different aspect when you are actually experiencing this. So when y'all see me all excited, hyping everything, my life is on a different level, a whole different level from my walk and my relationship. And it just didn't happen, right? So when you talk about preparation, it started like way back when, increments. And I just see the world in a whole different aspect, and I just have a different feeling. And I'll pause after this one, but I wanted to reflect also on what you said, Janice, going back to implementation. Everything that I want to do, I'm doing it. I'm not rushing myself. I'm not pressuring myself or anything. I spend a lot of time with myself now. I'm not on social media as much. Those things are time thieves. Those who like to be on it and go on it and rock on it, y'all rock on. I don't have nothing against that. I'm not on Zoom. I can't be on every Zoom. I cannot be on every for 3 days, 8 hours. I can't do that because then you think about the things that you are not doing. Yes, it motivates you, but it takes you away from the implementation. You only have this much, right? You break that pie up and you break those pieces according to your priority, and your priority should be aligned with your goal. So keep the end goal in mind. That's not just a cliche. When you keep the end goal in mind, when you think you have extra time, you think you have free time, or when you looking to make decisions on what you're going to commit to and not, you already look if it ain't in my schedule, if we say we're going somewhere and I don't put it on my calendar, it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna forget about it. Whenever I'm making decisions, I go to my calendar. So I just wanted to circle back in terms of, James, when you said implementation, people have got to understand that the opposite of implementation is you procrastinating and not getting anything done. Find yourself at the same place you were 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then you look back and say, where did all the time go? In the pandemic, it took us a minute to get adjusted to what was going on. We didn't know what in the world was going on, right? So we were like playing double dutch. We didn't want to get too much. But by the time had passed, people, I guarantee you, people looking back on last year and be like, I had all this time. I coulda, woulda, shoulda. But it's gone. It's gone. Right. It's gone.
But I wanted to throw in a thing too, what you said about aligning to God's will. Trust me, when you align to God's will, it's like your spirit feels different. You see different.
You say it again. Say it again.
When you align, you do. People don't understand. There's a different glow about you. There's a different way you walk and carry yourself. Yeah. You see people and situations completely different. It's like you know how they have the frosted mirror. It's like that frost is gone and it's clear.
And your alignment with people changes as well. You know,
yes, ma'am.
That alignment right there, that changes.
Those negative words that people used to could chip in your ear, they bounce off, and you don't even give them weight. That's what you do. That's when you know you're in alignment, when that negative doesn't hold weight, and you keep moving forward and doing what you need to do.
Hallelujah. Amen. You guys have preached to me today, okay? Let me tell you.
Came to me. I was like, oh, this is just, I gotta speak it. But we gotta do it. In
order to get different, you have to do different. And you know, and everybody says it, especially, you know, when you're trying to grow and you're trying to build, you know, your business or, you know, go to the next level of your job or whatever. Success and convenience are not in the same company, right?
Nope.
It's not even in the same breath.
Nor
Like
comfort.
you can't have
Nor
right,
comfort.
right.
Yeah.
You can't have it. If you want it, then you're gonna have to let something go. You're gonna have to shed some things to get to your next level. Rather that, you know, your attitude, people, surroundings, the things you used to do, the places you used to visit, to get to where you truly, truly want to go. If that's what you truly, truly want.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Another
Go
thing
ahead,
I like to
Jane.
say, success is the steps to success is not an overnight thing as well. You know, you're not going to be on that bottom step and then all of a sudden just run up to the top.
Right.
It's a process.
Right.
It's a process, and we have to stay in alignment and just trust the process, even when it may not feel as great or whatnot. Just don't give up on the process. I always remember myself, even as a youngster, you know, surrounded by what I thought was everybody doing just great and everybody has more than me. But I never had animosity. And I always used to say, even as a little girl that didn't grow up in church, but I still had enough to say, okay, God, I'm gonna wait my turn. I'm gonna wait my turn. So the other journeys of what I thought was success, and I looked at it from my peers, you know, college graduates and things of that nature, that was their journey. My journey happened to be different. And I just waited on God, you know, and I'm waiting my turn. So now that it's my turn, you know, don't be so inclined to be negative because it's my turn.
There you go.
You know, everybody's trajectory is different, but you have to tune out those negative aspects. And when you grow and fulfill and you have fulfillment within yourself, then it's easy to walk away from what you thought was good for you.
Correct.
And that is definitely what has been happening for me for 2020.
And that's why I say you have to shed some things. And one thing that I learned that was like, it's so simple, but it's so true. Everybody that's in your circle is not in your corner.
Correct. There you go.
So this is like a whole different show, but I'm just gonna say it. Envy. Like you would think that people that are surrounding you and appear to cheer for you are really for you.
Not necessarily.
Things can happen where you find and you learn things and it shocks you. It shocks you because you would have never thought in any way, and I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It's not funny at all. When people are jealous of you, that is the most like treacherous thing that, and it's hard to be aware of. You know what I mean? It's hard to notate it because, first of all, we are now all of us very careful about who we have in our circle. I'm very particular. This whole entrepreneur has required me to expand out. You know what I mean? But when you pull in and you go through and you experience something, and when you realize that somebody is jealous of you or their reaction or the way that they did something was because they're jealous of you, it baffles me, right? It really like is mind blowing. One, you don't know the cost of what I had to go through to get whatever it is, right? That's one. You don't know the cost of what I have to do to keep up with that. That's two. And then the third thing, you don't really understand. You don't know all the insides and the outs of me, my everyday life, and what it is. Live your life, right? Stop focusing on what other people do. That right there, I'm serious. And it's just over like the past year or so. Excuse me, y'all. This summer, it's the changing weather.
You down there in that 80 degree weather.
80 degree weather, and my body don't know how to act, right? But I'm so serious about this topic, and I'm trying to make myself be mindful and understand in my growth that when I used to like chill by myself, be by myself all the time, yes, I was moving and shaking, doing what I need to do, but that's not what God wants us to do. God wants us to commune with people, right? So I got to learn and I got to understand that. So I know that's a part of my life. Through growth, I understand that. But y'all, I'm telling you, like, I have really found out some things over like the past year and a half. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this person did that. I can't believe this person said that. Or when you go back and reflect and you put all of it together, somebody's behavior or action towards you. And I'm like, let me, and I'm not going to let anybody adjust me of who I am. Y'all know, like, it's no secret. Like, I can give somebody the business, right? I can give somebody the business.
But it's shocking and it's unexpected. You know, when you first the first discovery, because it's like you look at it from a standpoint of, well, I'm just being me. You know, I'm just doing me. How the young folks say, do you boo boo or whatever. I'm just doing me, and you know, I'm living my life. So I think if folks would not be so fixated on what they think they know about someone's life, then it wouldn't cause all that, you know, nonsense. But when it does happen,
let me say this: you can jump back in. Or mind your business. Mind your business. If you let mine alone, you will be able to work on mind your business.
Yeah. That is point simple. That's just it. Really simple. But again, it just shocks you, but it makes you have to look. We have to look at it from a standpoint once we get over our shockedness. Oh, they did that. Oh, they thought that. Really? It's necessary. It's a part of our journey. It's a part of our growth. So,
but maybe that is the fact. Maybe it's the fact that they don't have their own business. Because if you had stuff going on in yourself, and as far, and when I say business, I mean just, you know, everyday life. Like if they don't have anything going on, then that's why they have enough free time to worry about the next person. Correct. Right? And it's so funny, like, to me, because when God tells me something or shows me something or gives me discernment, it's so funny how he tells me, like, you know, our conversations, he's like, now, didn't I tell you? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I know. And it's a combination kind of like my grandmother, but, you know, in a male's voice. And he's like, didn't I tell you that this is what it was? Now, I done showed you this is what happened. Why you ain't listen to me? And it's just like being in tune, right? And when now that you know that there are people that are close to you that are, you know, doing that, God is going to reveal more and more and more and give you more discernment about people that are in your circle, people that, you know, that you may meet new or what have you.
Who you should do business with, all of that.
One of the things that I was guilty of was shrugging it off. Right? And he is like, I done told you once before. Right? And for me, I'm just learning to be more obedient. Because I asked him for this. Show me. And like we said, preparation. Don't ask for nothing that you're not prepared to deal with.
That's it. Oh my God. When I'm telling you, like, that is it. It surprises you because you would have never imagined it. But here is the thing. Seasons, right? There is a season for everything. If you would have began to notice like certain things early on, like you would have been kirking out. I know, and I speak for myself, right? I joke about me being from Southeast, but Southeast is in my blood. And probably, I don't know if you all probably have gotten like a piece of it or saw me or know my capabilities. But my thing
is capabilities. Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. I used to be like I used to be on quick. I used to be on get back. And
the hair trigger. Whoa.
And quick wit. One thing about Geminis is that we can deliver it. Like we quick with a comeback, and you know what I'm saying? And we are like quick to react. And that's one of the things I said, like with me growing and like honestly, with me being an entrepreneur now, I see things so much differently than when I was an employee, right? And being an entrepreneur, one of the things I told my daughter, when my daughter started working, she was like 12 or 13, and my daughter's attitude was horrible. And so I said, you know, when you get your first job, you're not going to McDonald's or someplace, because if somebody comes there with a bad attitude, you're never going to see them again. My daughter's first job was a shampoo girl. And the reason why I made her do that is because she needed to learn how to build relationships. And so if it's somebody that's coming to, you know, your stylist on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, you need to know how to get along with this person. One, because you're going to see them again and again and again. Two, if you want a good tip, you're going to have to develop a rapport, and you're going to have to change your attitude. So my daughter's first job was in a place where she had to learn how to communicate and build relationships, because I saw at an early age that her attitude was horrible.
And it's good that you saw that early on, so that you could tell her. When you were telling her, she probably was shrugging it off like, yeah, okay. But when she came into that place and encountered some people, she probably was like, Mom, this and Mom, that. So we're coming to the close of the show. So I'm going to say this comment, and then we're going to do our round. So the one thing that I was saying in terms of seasons, right? Like, we think we know everything. We think we're ready. We think we're prepared, but we're not. Like, God is preparing us every day for the things that we go through. I promise you all, some of the things that I witnessed today, or some of the not so favorable encounters that I have today that could really blow up into arguments, my walkaway game is so different now. Had it still been the same way that it was, I probably would be like, hold this for me, hold my bail money for me, because something is liable to happen. I'm telling y'all, like, and I make joke of it, but the things that have come to open, some of them have happened years ago. God knew that I was not ready for them. Like, something had happened before where I talked about something happening years ago, but something else happened again. And I was shocked about it. And the way he laid it out for me, it was like unbelievable. But I thank him, you know, for letting it happen in that situation. Because again, with my saved self, would have been like, Bose, hold this for me. And just for real, because it was just that bad. So I thank God for the growth. I thank God for the growth. And I thank him for his grace. I thank him for the level of patience. And don't get me wrong, not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm human. But I'm thankful that God comes to me at a point, and I'll be like, okay. In my mind, it's like, you got it, right? Like, you can have this. And the young people take you had this as you won. That ain't mine. No, mine not you won. That's like, you got this, because if we keep on going, I'm going to say something that I don't really mean. It's going to get to the point that I'm saying it to hurt your feelings, and that's not where I am. I'm grown. You're going to pull me back to where I was, but yet I've grown. So I'm going to pause right there, and we're going to go around so we can close out this show. So Sinead, let's start with you first.
Guys, I can be reached across all social media platforms at Professional Credit Diva. I also offer 30-minute complimentary consultations. The link is in my bio, but also if you dial 443-973-7555 and put in the words complimentary consultation along with your first name, I will send you to the link to schedule a complimentary consultation with me. That link can also be found on my website at theprofessionalcreditdiva.com.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. I'm laughing. Somebody wrote Southeast in the house, and you know it. And you know it. Thanks so much, Sinead. And not sure. I know you provide like a graphic, so hopefully, like the graphic popped up. I can't tell when we on Zoom, but your graphics looks nice.
Thank you.
I'm so glad of the upcoming. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So the next, Janice, let's have you with your closeout last minute thoughts.
Yeah, so you know what? Well, we won't see each other again until, as far as our audience, until 2022 next year.
Yes.
So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa. You know, may 2022 be great for everyone. You know, I'm just, again, this was a very great night to just have this open dialogue, you know, discussion. And I thank you, ladies. I really do. So the things that we talk about, in addition to money, you know, and money making and things of that nature, just the sisterhood, the camaraderie that we have, it's very welcoming and it's very inviting for me. So I really appreciate it, and I thank you guys. For our wonderful audience, you know, guys, I love to talk about real estate investing, how to get into investing. You know, connect with me on IG at Janice Bowles. Connect with me on my website. I'll put it into the comments, and sign up for my email, because you know, monthly I give information and tips about real estate investing and how to get in, how to stay developed in it. And you know, have some other things that's going to be coming up for sure with the Real Estate Academy that I'm working on. So, you know, God is great, and you guys continue to be great.
Thank you so much. We have to plan to do something over the holiday, ladies.
I know.
My friends.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Let's talk to you, Fanning.
Yes, so I can be reached on Facebook at either Sacagawea Fanning or Fanning Financial Group, LLC. I'm also on IG as Sacagawea Fanning. So I also provide free consultation, and you can text me at 706-717-9590. I'll put that in the comments, as well as now treading new territory, helping small business owners.
Yes.
Go ahead and make you more bankable and more value. And so you can make sure you retain, attract, and recruit top talent, because I know that's something that's happening with businesses. So, and also save some money on your bottom line. So let's do that and bring in a great year for 2022.
Awesome. So let me try to do this quick commercial and then give a shout out to the people who are on the line. So thank you all for tuning in. Of course, book projects coming up, Empowered to Win, with the visionary Allison Daniels, Reverend Allison Daniels. So I'm excited about that. In that book, I talk about my bout with anxiety. So really opening up and digging in to talk about that. And then the healing journal. So I'm going to be reaching out to some of you all to be a part of the audience. I think I might have to shift the date from the 20th. Doesn't look like the deliveries are going to be in. It's competing with holiday gifts, but nevertheless, that is coming up. Powerful project. My candles, oh my goodness. So we did relabeling for the candles. They are gorgeous, and they smell good as well. Nothing like a good smell good, feel good type of thing, right? So huge shout out to everyone who's on the line. Minister Andre Watts, Felicia Fanning Brown. Hi. That's Sacagawea's sister. Devetta Henderson, Valerie Lorraine Coleman, and I was just skipping over people comments. I didn't even see all this good stuff up in here. Marcella Stretch, sending prayers up for you, sis. Reach out to me. And co-pastor Davita Gaines Stewart, she was just on our show. Love you, love you, love you, love you. And anybody else, if you don't comment, I cannot see you. Major Bandy was on here as well. That was my childhood friend at the beginning that I shout out for him becoming pastor. So yeah, so thanks everybody for tuning in. Coming up, shows that are coming up. We still continuing with the December theme of looking back to move forward. And we will have coming up Dr. Rita A. Wallace Posey. She is the founder and CEO of Posey Wallace Enterprises. She has this beautiful magazine, Mogul Leaders Magazine. She's going to be coming on. When I talk about beautiful, it is a coffee table magazine. So we have to do something. We have to find out how we can get into that and buy an ad or something. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But she's going to be coming on talking about all of the projects that she's working on. I think she did a movie, a documentary. She has so many things that are coming up. So I'm excited about that. That's it. So thank you all. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms. We are Let's Do It Talk Show. Instagram, we are Let's Do It Talk Show on Facebook. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where we're looking to go at the beginning of the year. And ladies, I didn't even have my meeting with you yet. I met with the engineers there. But we are looking to take the show to stream directly to YouTube so that the uploads can be immediately and we can do the channel on that. So I'm so looking forward to it. So yeah, so let me enjoy this sunny sunshine. I'm in here actually hot with this on. It's 80 degrees here now, and I'm not used to it. I'm catching cold, nose running, but I'll be used to it tomorrow. So love you all, ladies. Love you all, audience. Stay tuned. Looking to transition, do some big and better things for next year. But for now, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.